Good evening and thank you for joining us for Tuesday night's edition of Primetime News with me, Michael Madimba. We commence with electoral matters. The Electoral Commission of Namibia, ECN, has announced that preparations for the Opuwo Rural Constituency by-election are progressing well, stating that the provisional voters register was displayed for public scrutiny on the 3rd of May 2021 and no objections were recorded.
The candidates for the Opuwo Rural Constituency by-election are Heinzi Hariki Maundu of the National Unity Democratic Organization, Western Waikaithiwa Muharukwa of the Public Democratic Movement, Daihori Kambura of the Rally for Democracy and Progress, Kadepanda Shambiru of the SWAPO Party, and Howard Skaihepere Shituri from the Independent Patriots for Change. The Electoral Commission of Namibia Chief Electoral and Referenda Officer Theo Muyoro in a statement on Monday issued an invitation to interested companies to submit bids for the printing of ballot papers as per the guidelines of the Public Procurement Act, adding that the awarding of the bids will take place on the 7th of June, while political parties are also to verify the final ballot papers on 11 June. Muyoro noted that all sensitive materials for the by-elections will be dispatched between 21 and 22 June 2021 under strict security and escorted by the Namibian police. It will be held at the police station within the constituency. The ECN will recruit 156 polling officials to make up 26 teams, 8 fixed and 18 mobile, with their training to take place from 25 to 29 June. The training of the political party agents and police officials is scheduled for 22 to 24 June. The deployment of the teams to their respective polling venues will be on 30 and 1st of July, with a total of 52 vehicles to be used during this process, Muyoro added. He further stated that the Commission is currently busy with voter and civic education activities to educate the residents on the importance of casting their votes through face-to-face engagement as well as via radio.
Farmers in the areas of Seisrim and Sossusvlei in the Hardap region have said they are displeased with the slow pace at which police reservists are being recruited. A reserve police officer performs general law enforcement duties which include street patrols, conducting preliminary police investigations, report writing, traffic control and other basic law enforcement functions. Reservists work closely with police officers on duty or alone at times.
Speaking to Nampa on behalf of farmers during a recent police visit to the region, Carl Hayes Ozenhuizen said farmers in the area submit their application to become police reservists in 2017, but most of them have not received a response to date. He said there are people who are willing to become police reservists to assist the Namibian police in fulfilling their duties and activities in terms of Section 13 of the Police Act. In response to farmers' outcry, Deputy Inspector General of Operations of the Namibian Police Force, NAMPO, Joseph Shikongo said, bureaucracy in the system is one of the contributing factors. Deputy Inspector General of Operations added that farmers with deeds of registration of their farms should qualify as reservists, as they already have an income. Eska Kamanya, Nampa News.
Still on community policing. The Namibian Police Force NAMPO's Karas Regional Commander David Indongo said, "It's time the police cease the traditional way of policing and adopt modern ways which involve the community in the fight against crime."
The Namibian Police Force, NAMPO, Karas Region Commander David Indongo, made these remarks here on Monday during a meeting between the police and Chief Joel Stephanos of the Falkhurst Traditional Authority. He said, they need a new approach to work with the communities to bring criminals to justice. Adding they also need to create neighborhood watch, community church, youth against crime forums to fight crime. Indongo said this approach has been adopted in other countries and has proved to be working to minimize crime within the communities. Further, the regional commander said the police in the region is faced with a lack of manpower, with only 687 police officers out of 2,211 NAMPOL-approved structures for the region. The regional commander noted that the lack of manpower should not discourage police officers from carrying out their work effectively and efficiently, Eska Kamanya, Nampa News.
On to education matters. The Namibia University of Science and Technology NUST on Monday held its first ever Technology Day. The event was held to mark the first 100 days in office of the university's new Vice-Chancellor Errol Nauamab and to convene developers, consumers and technology enthusiasts.
The Namibia University of Science and Technology NUST Vice-Chancellor Errol Nauamab, in a speech read on his behalf during the official opening ceremony, Nauamab noticed that research and technology are vital elements in building a country's social economic growth and sustainability. He noted that, therefore, NUST continuously strives towards reinventing itself in two key areas, in accordance with national development goals and global trends in general. He further stated that, despite being faced with myriad of challenges worsened by the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, there is also a pivotal opportunity for people to re-image their way of thinking. The Vice-Chancellor also said, as a knowledge hub, they must always be at the forefront of groundbreaking innovations, adding that it's their duty to find solutions to challenges and they claim our rightful place in global stage. He said, as the world advances, there is a need to harness technology in order to improve livelihoods.
Stand by for your top roundup. Moving on to all things business and economics. Minister of Public Enterprises Leon Schuster has written to 3 board members of the Meat Corporation of Namibia, Meatco, to request an explanation after they drastically resigned from the corporation.
Minister of Public Enterprise Leon Schuster said this on Monday in an interview with Nampa, where he confirmed that 3 members, Board Chairperson Yoni Haman, Vice Chairperson Clara Bohitile, and Director Kai Dieter Raft have resigned with immediate effect. In a joint statement issued on Monday, the trio said their resignation comes after the board held a substantive meeting on Thursday. The minister said he has written to each one of them to request that they provide the actual reasons that led to them taking this drastic decision, adding that he's waiting for this information and we will then consider and act in line with what we uncover to protect the interest of Meatco. The directors said their resignation due to material unreconciled difference with management and the rest of the board of directors. Herman and Raff represented their letters of resignation to Schuster on Friday, while Bohitila informed the minister on Sunday that she was to resign as vice chairperson of Meatco with immediate effect. They were appointed alongside 6 other directors on the 1st of May 2020 for a 3-year term. In an interview with Nampa on Monday, Meatco's corporate communication officer, Undamunye Hambira, refused to comment on the matter.
South Africa's unemployment rate rose slightly in the first quarter of 2021 to a new record high of 32.6% from 32.5% in the fourth quarter of 2020, the Statistics Agency said today. The rate was the highest since the quarterly labor force survey began in 2008. Statistics South Africa put the number of unemployed at 7.242 million people in the 3 months to the end of March, up from 7.233 million people in the previous 3 months. According to an expanded definition of unemployment that includes those discouraged from seeking work, 43.2% of the labor force was without work in the January to March quarter, from 42.6% in the final quarter of 2020. It's time for the Business and Economics Roundup. In international football, Manchester United forward Mason Greenwood has withdrawn from England's provisional squad for Euro 2020 due to injury. United today revealed that Greenwood would not be in Gareth Southgate's party for the upcoming tournament due to an underlying problem that also kept him out of the Under-21 European Championships in March. The announcement came on the day that Southgate will cut his squad from 33 to 26 players. In tennis news, Japan joined leading figures in tennis in rallying around Naomi Osaka today after the world number 2 withdrew from the French Open in a row about post-match media duties, saying she had been suffering from anxiety and depression. One of the biggest names in sport, Osaka, stunned the tennis world when she pulled out of the Grand Slam on Monday after being fined and threatened with expulsion for declining to face the media after her first-round match on Sunday. The 4-time Grand Slam champion had last week signaled her intentions to skip her media duties to protect her mental well-being, and she returned to Twitter on Monday to announce her withdrawal. While her original stance had earned the 23-year-old Japanese little backing from her fellow professionals, most saying that dealing with the media was part of her job, a withdrawal triggered a wave of support from around the world. Your sports roundup is up next. We've come to the end of Tuesday's installment of Primetime News. We thank you for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up and share. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, click on the notifications bell to keep abreast with the latest happenings locally and globally. From myself and the entire production team, it's good night.